everybody, this is the Ecclesiarch here, back with some more Warpforge, and as you probably already know, we're about to get our first batch of reinforcements in the game. They are going to be for the Tyranids, which is going to include a warlord as well as an array of new cards, and this expansion is going to be dropping on the 1st of February, which is going to be, I believe, Thursday. And there's going to be some deals and stuff, obviously, that are going to be coming together with these cards. But what interests me the most is basically what are the new cards that are coming to the game, what's the new warlord, and how exactly is this going to affect the Tyranids as well as affect the balance of the game. So without further ado, let's get into it and let's discuss some of these cards. Now I know that the cards are not new to most of you because you've already probably seen it on BJ's channel. I'm just going to be doing this as not a reveal video, but more like on just my own opinions on the cards and what I think is good and what I think is not good. And let's actually start from the warlord itself, which is going to be the terror of Vardenghast. And this is already a pretty interesting thing. This is a legendary warlord with 35 HP. So I believe this is the first legendary warlord in Warpforge that has 35 HP. And it's a standard warlord with 2/2, nothing like extraordinary. He just gets a talent called Alpha Warrior, which is for 2 energy, ephemeral. Your warlord gains flying and +1 melee attack for each friendly unit in play this turn. Now, on paper, honestly, this is like a lousier version of Zagstruck's ability, to be honest, because if you don't have any troops on the board, your warlord still counts towards it. So you're essentially getting what Zagstruck gets, but you're not getting the armor, right? However, as soon as you have like at least 1 unit on the board, then it's already +2, so you're getting your attack to 4. And honestly speaking, I know that what a lot of you might be thinking, oh, you know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run 2 overwhelming swarms and I'm gonna swarm the board and then I'm gonna do a one-shot. And no, that is not what this warlord is all about, in my opinion. So think about it for a second. Like, even if you have 8 units on the board, with this ability, what's gonna happen is that you are going to get a total of +9 attack, right? So you're gonna have 11. And if you play the Bloodlust on him later on, it's gonna be 12, so you will deal 24 damage with this warlord. It's not that much of a big deal, honestly, because Tyranids can already do that, and that is without, like, blowing so much energy on swarming the board and stuff. Like, Tyranids can literally do that with a single unit beside them with a synapse. Like, Swarmlord can deal like up to 30 damage or something if he has a correct setup. So I don't think that is the main thing about this warlord. I think the main thing with this warlord is his ability to basically trade and take out enemy units. So the thing is, this warlord, for example, one of the main strengths of this warlord is that he has 3 attack, right? So he can take out 3 HP units instantly. So what this guy is going to be able to do is he's going to be able to sometimes take out 4 HP units, right? And if he has 2 units, 5 HP units. So I think the main thing with this warlord is going to be the ability to maintain board control. And of course, in need, he will also be able to do quite a bit of damage to the face. So this is not about the one-shot combo, it's more about more control and consistent damage on the enemy. So sometimes you might even want to conserve your HP just to control the board. So overall, a pretty interesting warlord. Honestly speaking, I like it. Nothing negative to say about it, to be honest. Now let's start from the units, and the very first unit I'm going to talk about is the Neuraloid, which is 0 energy 1/2 synapse. Yeah, this is pretty scary. This is honestly pretty scary. This is scary because it further enhances the Tyranid Bloodlust cancer, basically, because what's gonna happen is that the Swarmlord can now essentially drop a free synapse for 0 energy and he can get his combo off. Like right now, what you could do is you could, for example, control him and not leave his synapse units on board, but now if he gets like a big tank like Carnifex on board, you're not safe because he can still do a Neuraloid and get the Bloodlust from there. Until now, the best way that Swarmlord could get something on the board and then Bloodlusted was the Neurogaunt Nodebeast, because that was the cheapest synapse that there was, and now this is a little more scary. Now on the Swarm, I think this is going to be like the main thing on the Swarmlord, because at the same time Swarmlord can instantly make this a 2/3 on turn 1, which can also be pretty good in certain situations. Obviously, it's going to synergize with another unit that we have coming, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit, but I think Neuroloid is going to be a very big game breaker, man. This is like one of the best cards that they added for Tyranids. This is going to solve the problem of them lacking synapse sometimes, and it's going to be very painful for a lot of players to deal with this, because Swarmlord is going to become harder to deal with just because of this seemingly not so cool card, right? So this is like one of the #1 cards for sure. The next we got here is the Neurogon. So we already had the Neurogon Node Beast, which was basically the same unit, with the difference it had 3 HP and it simply had Tide 2. So this one sacrifices HP for more Tide. I guess the usage of this is more for Swarmlord, the Tervigon, as well as maybe the new Winged Tyranid, Tyranid Warrior, Tyranid Prime, the Terror of Vardenghast. So perhaps this will allow you some cool combos with that Warlord, and on Tervigon it could actually be pretty nice because you get an additional Swarm unit, which is really good, but I don't think like it's that necessary because once again, Tervigon is not going to be able to do much with Synapse, and when it comes to the Terror of Vardenghast, I once again said that I don't think Swarm is going to be his main thingy, but this is pretty cool. This is actually, I still like it because it opens up maybe some different types of combos, so I'm totally in for this unit. The next one is the Barbgaunt, and Barbgaunt, honestly, I don't like it, to be fair, because it's like a for 3 energy, it has pretty bad stats. 3 health and 1 melee attack is terrible, even if it has Blast. However, if you drop it at 6 energy, it's gonna be a 8/6/2. It's still bad, honestly, because the low health is really, really bad. Like, I would have appreciated it more if it had more health than ranged attack. So I don't think this is gonna be played much because once again the stats are horrible. So I don't really see much value in there. Next we got the Termagant Brood. So 4 energy, 2/5, 4 Swarm, Tide 3. Once again, not that good, honestly, because Tide is nice, but Tide is not that good for these high cost units, you know? Because might as well play the Hormagaunt that you got, or or just normal Termagants with you generate from Tervigon, or Neurogons. I don't really think that Termagant is going to be that good, because even if you like so you can always cast like 3 of these if you have 12 energy, and with 1 Overwhelming Swarm, which is 3 energy, you'll still need 9 energy to play all 3 of this. Is like pretty bad. You're mostly not going to be able to use the whole Tide from this, so, and you'll have to combo with Tyranid Prime to get some value. So I honestly think this is one of the worst cards right now. I don't really see a use for this. However, the next one that we got is pretty interesting, the Psychophage. So Psychophage has got what? So 5 energy, 3/3/6. Gain 1 melee rage attack for each damaged enemy. Most probably this is going to be like a 4/6 when you play it, because the enemy Warlord is most probably already damaged when you play this for 5 energy. It could gain some nice stats if there's like more than 1 damaged unit on the board, so maybe in a lot of cases it will become a 5/6. And 5 energy, 5/6 is pretty good, but it's a little bit too slow. I don't think it's going to be played that much, to be honest. Its ability, which is the Feeding Frenzy, basically it's what? So 1 energy, deal 2 damage to a damaged unit, the enemy unit, and if the target dies, give +1 health to all units. I think this is a little bit too slow. It's a nice little unit, but nothing too special. I wouldn't say I really like it, so it's a little bit of a... I mean, it's a cool idea, but I don't really see it's going to be played much. Carnifex is still way better than this. Unless like you drop this from your counter attack, your defense card, which might be really nice, but even then he doesn't really have that much value. Like, Carnifex is still better, so yeah. Now this one, the Neuro Tyrant, this is a problem, guys. I'm gonna just say outright, this is a problem, and this is gonna break the game, kinda. I think there's gonna be a lot of problems because of this card, because look at this, like, it's 6 energy, 6/8 flying. Its stats are too much. It's overstat like crazy, and having 2 melee attack doesn't really help, because in most cases when you drop this guy, so basically you can even play this on 4 energy for counter attack, right? So if you play this for defense card like this on 4 energy, the enemy is gonna be in a very big pickle unless they have a very good ranged attack unit on the board. And yeah, Marines are gonna be able to do the Inspired Zeal, but this is gonna be a hell to deal with if it sticks on if it drops against any other faction. Like, it's very hard to take down. It's flying, which makes it really difficult because a lot of flankers in this game. Well, there are a lot of flying flankers as well in the game, but like, even if you play a Stormboy against this, you're not instantly taking it out without attacking it with face as well. And if it survives, the value it gives is pretty cool. It has Synapse, and whenever you play a stratagem, it creates ephemeral copies of it in your hand, so that could do some really crazy combos. So I think this is a little bit of an overstated unit, so I don't know. Maybe it's not going to be that much of a problem, but I kind of see this as being a bit of a problematic unit. I guess time will tell, but I kind of feel as if it's overstated considering it's a flying unit. Now, the next one is probably one of my favorites, if not my favorite from this expansion. So you got the Norn Emissary, something that costs like 15 energy, has like armor 1, blast 3, like crazy stats, right? And the cost is lowered by 2 every time you trigger a Synapse. So you need to trigger a Synapse at least 3 times in order to play this unit, right? So, because it's gonna go down to 9 energy. But it can get pretty cheap. You can end up dropping this for 0 energy, which is pretty cool. Now, I honestly think that, considering you have to have this in your hand, as much as I understand, for it to drop the cost, you probably want to start with this card in your hand. Now, I think the Neurotrope is going to be the one who's going to play this. So this is going to open the possibilities for a control-based Tyranid deck, not only reliant on Ravenous Hunter. And honestly speaking, I welcome that with open arms. Like, this is like the Molten Giant and the Mountain Giant from Hearthstone, and I really like the whole design of those cards, and I think this one is really good as well. Like, this is just something that the opponent will have to look out for, and it's not like that broken as well, because you have to have it in your hand first of all for it to lose the cost, and it's like a 15 cost unit, right? So having 2 of these, for example, in your hand really hinders your early game, but it rewards you in the late game a lot. And as I said in the podcast last time, this game desperately needs some control, so I really like the idea of this card. Now, the next one, the Toxic Entanglement, once again pretty good. I like it. So it's a stun for the Tyranids with Vulnerable 5, which is really good because Tyranids really did struggle with the hard removal part. So this is going to give them more room to breathe. Once again, this is more for control Tyranids, so this is going to be very good. So if you play something like very bulky, they can actually take it out with this, which is pretty good, honestly, because I guess Tyranids really needed that. And Neurotrope is going to have a field day with this because it's going to just cast this and add its 1 energy ability, and there you go, you take 6 damage. So this is pretty good. And Tyranid Invasion, this is a trash card, honestly. Like, maybe some of you really like it, and I don't really want to sound like an ass, but this is another trash card. 6 energy, deploy 4 random 2-cost Leviathan troops. Really? Like, you want to blow 6 energy on this to get random 2-cost troops that aren't even gonna trigger the swarm? I don't think so, guys. This is not good. They're most probably, if you're wasting 6 energy on this is like the Necron ability that drops 2-cost units. Maybe this is a little bit better, but still not good. Too slow, and it's kind of stupid. I don't like it, so I think this is not going to be played in any decent Tyranid deck. I think unless I'm missing something for sure. And then we have Bestial Rage, and Bestial Rage is, yeah, it's crap. Double the melee attack of a friendly troop. So essentially, this is your finisher, and the Ravenous Hunter is a much better finisher. You don't have room in the Tyranid decks for 8 energy tactics. So yeah, this is absolute crap. So you're not probably going to be seeing this. Overall, I would say pretty interesting cards. I think it opens up some possibilities for Tyranids and closes some of their weak points. However, I do kind of feel as if a Neuroloid is gonna be a problem, maybe with Swarmlord, and like the Neurotitan is also going to, Tyrant is also gonna be a little bit of a problem, most probably. If your opponent is able to drop this via counterattack, it might be a problem. But I'm more concerned about the Neuroloid, honestly, because is just going to make the Tyranid abuse a little bit more prominent. Anyway, in any case, I'm still excited to see what we're gonna be able to do with these cards, and I'll be releasing Tyranid content as soon as the expansion drops. So thank you for watching, ladies and gents. Hope this was informative for you, and I'll see you in the next one.